I was just reading an amazing book which introduces you on how to make a poison. Now, this book within the game, the name of the book is Rerum Durenis, which tells you about the Durenis family and how they had a long history of being court wizards and the art of wizardry, and how they were knights and they had like a long line of very powerful and people with achievements. And there's this wizard who tells you about the story of his great ancestor who might have or not invented alchemy, but in fact turned these study of plants, which most of them in Tamriel have some sort of a magical effect, to turn the study of these into something, into a science called alchemy. And this little book that I found in my inventory, now that I'm chilling in my house, was around 15 to 20 pages. Just little pages, little paragraphs on a very well told story with a lot of details about this Dureni family and their achievements and how the stories went on. They tell you about a raid and how this character with wits and just studying these alchemical principles managed to create a poison to fight off raiders who were trying to destroy his clan or to steal their crops or something like that. So I just spent like 10 to 15 minutes reading this beautiful story with amazing background music, and I just remembered how beautiful is this game. Now, with the whole thing going on with modern gaming, now that I played World of Warcraft for the last 2 years maybe, and I kind of went away from Skyrim. I got into the hype of classic World of Warcraft and the whole thing, and one of the things that really attracted me to World of Warcraft was in fact that they explore these fantasy narratives and they explore these lores and the theme about the light, magic and so on and so forth. And now that the game is sort of struggling in a sense, given that the most modern iteration of it, which is called retail, it seems to be going out of fashion. And no matter what the developers do, people keep complaining about this game, and I think it all lies in the fact that the modern iteration of World of Warcraft and even the past iterations, the classic World of Warcraft, which is now modern in a way, it seems that both the player base and the developers have forgotten what it was all about. When World of Warcraft, all these RPGs, these MMOs came out, the games were about being involved, being immersed in a deep fantasy narrative. These fantasy narratives, the Lord of the Rings, Tolkien, all these things, Camelot and Sir Arthur and Merlin and all of these things, they have a very romantic, very idealistic outlook on life. When you mix in magic and demons and forces of light and shadow and all of these thematics, you get something amazing that goes beyond ideology. It goes into idealism. It goes into the subconscious mind and the psyche, the collective psyche of wanting, people wanting for magic to be real. And now when I look at modern World of Warcraft, what I see is men trying to perform in a video game, quote unquote, perform. It's all become so arcadey, so much about the gear, so much about performing in a video game. And I think this has much deeper social issues having to do with modern masculinity and the lack of spaces for modern men to express this masculinity, like sports, like stable, decent jobs rather than gigs or like working as a Starbucks barista. But in any case, I go away from the main topic, talking about what is gonna bring the magic back to MMOs is the fantasy narrative. People don't understand it, people don't see it, people think it's boring, but it's the very thing that brings them into these games, either consciously or subconsciously. The Elder Scrolls franchise is the best RPG franchise dealing with the fantasy narrative, and it's been so long since the last Elder Scrolls single player game, which is Skyrim, which is still current, which a lot of people are still playing, which thanks to the modding community. But I so wish that these developers and the people who are creating these games would stop to think, where is there actual value in these video games? Is it in spending hours and hours farming? Is it about beating the game? Skyrim is a game that you cannot beat. It's not about beating the game. It's about the symbols behind me. It's about the candles and the ritual. It's about the arcane and the mysterious, the unknown, and trying to understand it through the way of the wizard. Like this little book that I just read, the Rerum Terenis, tells you to. It's all about the way of the wizard, the way of the ascetic. Whether people understand this or not, I just wish that modern developers, and if there's people working on the Elder Scrolls 6 and the future iterations of big MMOs like World of Warcraft or even Elder Scrolls Online itself, along with the new ones that are coming out, truly understand that this idealism, this romanticism that has laid the path for all these fandoms comes from the epic medieval fantasy, and we need it more than ever. Thank you for watching. Maybe I'll see you in the next one.